Hi everyone. So recently I received a lot of questions about my renders, mostly questions about my lighting setup. So I've decided to create this short tutorial where I will explain just one of the lighting methods that I personally use in my projects. And for this tutorial I will be using one of my recently created projects. It's actually one of my favorites and it is also available on my Blender Market store, and I will leave a link in the description. Now, just before we start, I would like to say that usually the lighting setup itself isn't too complicated because we still want to keep the scene as simple as possible and we don't want to use too many light sources. But finding the right lighting for the scene, this one can take some time. Now, the goal in this scene was to achieve like a kind of a late afternoon, early evening sunset atmosphere, and now I'm going to explain the lighting setup step by step. So this is the scene, and if we go to the shader editor and we switch to the world tab, then we can see the entire lighting setup just right here. So in this case I'm not using anything else but the sky texture. Sky texture is the main and the only light source in this scene. And because I'm aiming for this kind of a golden hour look, late afternoon, maybe early evening, with these nice soft shadows, in order to achieve that, the first thing we need to do is to adjust the sun size. Usually for this purpose 3 or 3.5 works best for me, because let's see what happens if we set it to 0, for example. Then we can see the shadows become really sharp, and this is not the look we want to achieve. And if we set it back to 3.5, we can see that the scene immediately becomes brighter, and this is what we actually want to achieve. So we set it at 3.5. 2 is also okay, but because we have this nice curtains, so it looks like the rays, the sun rays go through the curtains, and it's gives us a better look. So let's put it back to 3.5. So next is the sun intensity. Here 0.5 is okay, works well for us. If we set it to 0, completely dark, if we set it to higher values like 1, feels like for me, in my opinion, it seems like too intense, kind of burnt out. So let's set it back to 0.5. And the sun elevation is 20 degrees. 20 degrees in this case gives us the this golden hour look. And the sun rotation, it really depends on your windows, on your openings, so you can play with that. And the last one for the sky texture is the air. So what air gives us is the warmth of the scene, of the light. So if we set it to 0, we can see it becomes very cold. And we can leave it at 1, it's okay, but I usually like to give it just slightly increase it and give it a little bit more warmth in this golden tone. Now, the hue saturation value node is well, it can add some colors and more warmth, but not necessary. So you can use it or you can unuse it, but the sky texture is directly connected to the main background, which is usually be set to a similar value of the sun intensity. It's I'm not gonna make it much higher or much lower. And I will always use for interiors the light path. So the light path with a diffuse ray mixed with a diffuse ray is gives us better control over the lighting inside the interior. If we set it to 0, we can see it's kind of it's maybe a dead look. If we set it to 1, it put us back to a nice look of a natural lighting. Then for so this is the diffuse ray that I use with the light path. Now for the background, I use an HDRI that I created by myself with this city generator, and I will connect it to the camera ray, and I play with the values of it. So I tried 1, it was too dark, then I went 2, and I found that 3 works best for me. So every time we have this camera ray node, we must also combine it with the glossary, because we want to see the same through glasses and through glossy surfaces. We want to see the same that we can see on the outside. So, and there must be the same. Now we're gonna mix them with a mix shader twice. Yep, so we have the camera ray connected to the mix shader and then connected to the camera ray here. And we have the glossy ray connected to the mix shader and also connected to the glossy ray. And that's all. That's all the setup. And if we go to another view, we can see this nice golden hour look. Thank you for watching.